Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Pony 411. This is episode 87 for the week of January 18th. I am Alca7raz, and with me again is Nemesis.
Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl. Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl.
That was an amazing game, too.
Come back for the win.
Suck it, Green Bay. So yes.
Don't drown in your salt.
So yeah, we got another episode. Back on topic. We got, again, some news. We have a discussion. We're going to go back to an old episode like we've been doing. We also have a comic to talk about. And we got some fan content. But first up, news. If you want to follow along, go to pony411.libsyn.com/show notes. Click on the link for this episode and get all the links and stuff to follow along with. So let's get through this. In convention news, Marieke Hendricks will be attending BabsCon.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's yet another VIP guest for their lineup.
Voice of Sonata. And Gilda, I guess, but
And
Sonata.
Gilda, I guess. Tacos.
But mostly Sonata.
Mostly Sonata now. The Great British Brony Convention has a few announcements. Firstly, they've announced 4 musician guests, and they're Glaze affiliate Mr. Brony Dash and Macaro, how you want to pronounce that one. Also, early bird tickets are now on sale until January 31st for £45. And lastly, application for vendors, musicians, volunteers, or if you have panel ideas, those kind of stuff, are open. So if you want to get that in, go for it.
It's in Manchester.
Manchester. Like the soccer team? I mean football team? Anyway, moving on. Last bit of convention news. Daniel Ingram will be attending BronyCon.
Mr. Music Guy.
Mr. Music Guy, yep. So he'll be attending a couple cons. Let's see.
Yep.
PonyCon New York, I think. Are the different PonyCon going on around there?
I think so.
And then now BronyCon. So, in fandom news, the Overmare Studios has released an article going over all the things they've accomplished so far with their upcoming Fallout Equestria game.
Yes, summary of 2014, more or less.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you missed maybe those updates we've been talking about, there's a summarization, I guess.
So, yeah. Lauren Faust had sponsored a fundraiser for the WLC Wildlife, where the winning bid, because it's an auction, would get their OC drawn by Lauren herself. Yeah, after some interesting stuff going on. The bidding ended at $3,650, and the user Tafkal, or Tafkal, was the winner on that one. So he's getting his OC drawn. It's a little gray and black bunny thing.
It's a zebra.
Yeah, I guess it's a zebra. It looks like a zebra.
It's a zebra.
Okay, it's a zebra. Well, it's fine, it's a zebra. But yeah, another bidder had added another $350 on top of that just to hit the $4,000 goal. So that's cool.
Yeah. And remember, children, if you bid on something like this, you're expected to pay.
Yes, don't bid on something unless you actually have the money. Anyway, Hasbro's announced the upcoming webcast for the fourth quarter earnings conference. Last time they announced the 2017 movie during that, so let's hope maybe we'll get some more news.
Like maybe the season 5 start date?
Yeah, that'd be cool. In merchandise news, Wave 12 of the blind bags are out and about, and they're not as blind as we were thinking they would be.
Yeah.
And these bags will still have the codes like we're used to, because there was some question on whether they were actually going to have them. But they'll also have a little viewing window in them.
Yeah, backs are like transparent or translucent.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So you can see which ponies inside, so it's like, what's the point of being a blind bag?
Yeah.
Everyone just gave up. It's like everyone's just figuring out what they are anyway.
Yeah. TY has updated their plushie line with new main styles.
Yes.
So, yeah.
They're more in line with the show now.
Yeah. A little more in line.
Most of them. Although there's like the 2 different sizes, and one size looks more correct than the other.
Yeah, that's a bit interesting. Entertainment Earth has a ton of new pony merch, including but not limited to some 10-ounce glasses with individual ponies on them, a Rainbow Dash ceramic goblet,
Lame.
a wireless wood wall clock, and another Rainbow Dash sculpted mug, which I'll even admit looks kind of weird, but whatever.
Rainbow Dash is judging you.
It looked like the Pez head. It looked like the same mold sculpting that they use for the Pez head. So that's a bit interesting. Pony comic book fabric is showing up in Joanne's fabric.
Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah, it is odd.
I'm not even sure if it's totally licensed just because of... It seems to be multiple artist sources. I'm not even sure if it's 100% actually licensed or what.
Yeah,
it should be because it's at a major retailer, but...
They can get in serious trouble if it isn't. But it definitely looks interesting. So, someone make me some lounge pants with it.
Make it yourself.
I'm not good at sewing.
Well, time to learn.
Oh, I know how. I'm just not that good.
Time to learn.
Information about an upcoming book called The Art of Equestria has appeared. The book will include 192 pages of art, writing, and designs from the show, including some information about how the characters came to be and all that sort of stuff. And there's also going to be a little bit about the fan base
Yes.
in it as well, apparently.
Like
so,
behind the scenes stuff. This looks like a book
yeah.
right up your alley.
Yep. In comic news, Amazon has listed an upcoming IDW villain paperback comic.
Yes.
It's 124 pages and it'll include 5 separate stories, and they're all new stories.
Yes. And this appears to be the thing they're teasing to be premiering in April. It's apparently Fiendship is magic. Get it?
Fiendship.
Yeah, it's 5 stories. You got Sombra, Chrysalis, Nightmare Moon, Sirens, and Tirek. Stories for all of them. This is the trade paperback which collects them. I believe before this comes out, we are going to see the issues come out separately.
Yeah. That is definitely something to look forward to. Hopefully.
Hopefully it's fun.
Yeah. A preview for comic issue number 27 is also available on iTunes as expected.
Yes, it's another Price Cook team up, so hopefully they can do better than last time.
Yeah. And last, comic news, Volume 7 of the MLP comic is available for pre-order on Amazon. This volume includes issues 25 through 28.
Yes.
So,
the two of which we just said we don't like.
Yep. But also 2 of which that haven't come out yet.
Yes, over the next few months.
And in Friendship is Magic news, Hasbro shows may or may not be leaving Netflix. On February 2nd, Netflix's contract with Hasbro will expire, and if they don't renew it, we're not going to see Pawnee and the other Hasbro shows anymore. Nope. There is, however, apparently talks about getting it renewed. Some places are saying, yes, they're working on getting it renewed, but nothing yet seems to be settled, apparently.
This we started seeing reports of this actually last week, but we ignored it because it looked like it had already been resolved, and then
now it looks like it hasn't been resolved, and it's like
basically it's just that it's a money thing.
Yeah,
someone wants more money than the other's willing to pay or something right now, so
they're working on it. We shall.
It sounds like Hasbro's the one who's trying to ask for more money, saying, "Well, it sounds like they're trying to say they account for a large chunk of Netflix viewing," and Netflix is saying, "No, you don't actually account for that as much as you think you do. We have the data."
Yeah, I'm about to say Netflix can just show them the data.
I could actually show them the data, but it's like, no, we got it. We know exactly what's going on. But yeah, February 2nd may be the last day you'll be able to watch Pony. It might come back after like maybe a month or something while all they're negotiating, because it sounds like they're still in the middle of negotiations, because USA Today seems to imply it's already too late, that the negotiations have failed and it's going to disappear.
Yeah.
But the MLP Facebook page seems to be implying that no,
they are actively working on fixing it.
So they're actively working on negotiating. It's not really fixing anything.
Yeah, whatever.
Although Equestria Girls and Rainbow Rocks are a separate deal, so they get to remain for longer, even if this deal falls short. And apparently, also so does the Transformers Prime movie is still up, even though the Prime series all the Transformers series, if you notice, have already been removed from Netflix, because I think it has something to do with Cartoon Network. I bet I have to make a whole new deal because now Transformers is there on Cartoon Network.
Yeah. Politics, basically. Business politics.
Yes.
Fun.
Extra fun.
And last little bit of news, Daniel Ingram tweeted a question to everyone asking what Pinky's favorite things in the world are, using the hashtag mystery song. Maybe there might be a possible Sound of Music reference?
I don't know.
These are a few of my favorite things.
A coincidence.
Yes, maybe. We'll find out. It is interesting. And we like speculating in this fandom, that's for sure. So yeah, that's the news.
So let's watch season 5 already.
Please. Stop teasing us. Just give it to us. So yeah, that's the news. Our discussion. We went back and watched another old episode. Time I got a pick, and I picked Sonic Rainboom, back from season 1.
Gross.
Oh,
wait, no.
Don't be like that. So yeah. Basic quick recap for those if you haven't watched it in a while. Rainbow Dash is going to go to the Best Young Flyers competition, going to bring Fluttershy, but the rest of the main 6 decide to go with her to help her because Fluttershy is not a very good cheerleader. Woo! Rainbow Dash gets nervous when she's doing this because hasn't yet successfully done the Sonic Rainboom. But when Rarity gets her wings, goes up there, she starts kind of taking over the show, doesn't help Rainbow Dash at all. But during the competition, as Rainbow Dash is kind of screwing up, Rarity really screws things up and ends up falling down, and Rainbow Dash saves her and does a Sonic Rainboom, and everyone was happy. Of course, I loved this episode, because it is Rainbow Dash and holy crap, Sonic Rainboom. But this is also the source of a whole bunch of fandom memes, including the Fluttershy Yay and a whole ton of other ones was spawned out of this one. So it has a lot of significance just historically. But yeah. It was a good episode. I still think it holds up really, really well. Looking back on it, I personally think that Rainbow Dash wasn't as insufferable as some people said she was, especially in this episode.
He's wrong, though.
I'm not wrong. Most of the time, she's shying off of it. She's not insufferable.
She's been insufferable for the first 2 seasons.
She's not insufferable. She was barely, as far as some of the other episodes, she was barely ever, bragging in this one. Most of the time, she was all nervous. Complete opposite of what people yell at her for.
Yeah, but she braided Fluttershy.
Oh, yes, and you can't do anything to Fluttershy or else the fandom will get incredibly pissed at you.
So why don't you all hate Rainbow Dash? Shame on you.
Well, a lot of people do. You're one of them.
I said all.
But yes. This was also one of the first primarily Rainbow Dash episodes. Fall Weather Friends came before it, but that was kind of a combo. Rainbow Dash, Applejack 1. So, yeah, this had a lot of significance.
It's also the Gilda the Brush Off. Griffin the Brush Off. That's what it was.
Yeah, there was that too, but that was mainly Pinky and Gilda.
And Dash.
Sort of. Dash was more of a background in that one.
Yeah, it's fine. That's where she should be. But anyway, yes.
I heard that one.
Man, this is just fun.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, this is still a fun episode, I guess. I would still consider it a mid-tier episode for season 1. There's definitely a much worse one.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about that eventually at some point in the future.
Might have to get to that point.
I'll have to see. It depends when season 5 actually starts up. But anyway, yeah, this was I guess the Sonic Rainboom was the first thing. We saw it again later, a little bit, actually not much later.
Chronicle. Yeah.
This was actually I think this was actually the last episode that aired before I started watching the show. So this was like the last episode on my binge. I was like, oh, I need more now. I need more. I need more. Yeah, this was around this point. It's been a long time because this was 2011, so early 2011.
Yeah, it's been almost 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Dash episode, and yeah, but still, I don't like Dash. I really didn't like Dash at this point. I already soured on her because of Fall Weather Friends and how she acted there and stuff, but yeah. I'm having a hard time with this because, yeah, it's a mid-tier episode for me. I was never, super into this one, even when I first watched it, so this was before I really fully, had, established, everything about all the ponies except for Twilight. I was just, at that point, I already had established myself. Yep, Twilight's the best. At that point, I was yep, Twilight's the best one. But, yeah, I said, Dash was just berating Fluttershy for her weak performance, I guess, when it came to cheerleading, which is, I guess, no matter how you look at it, that is pretty rude. I will
give you that one. That part, she was kind of...
Louder!
Well, that part wasn't.
Which we then
that was just coaching.
Back.
That's, yeah.
In
coaching, yeah, you're gonna yell a little bit, but the other parts, after she crashes into, that was a little bit
crashing
in
the library too.
But the rest of it though, wasn't.
Yeah.
That was the only time she ever, quote unquote, berated her. That was it. Was that one scene? The rest of it was Dash, trembling under the nervousness and freaking out.
Probably just because of her childhood. Memories of her childhood. Go back to Collinsdale, and all of a sudden your childhood goes rushing back, and you remember all the stupid things you did.
Or one of the theories.
And also is reminded of dropping out.
Yes.
She dropped out. She's more or less a school dropout. We don't have any idea whether or not she actually went back and finished.
Yeah, we don't. One of the theories that I've heard a lot is she was picked on and bullied, which we saw bullying here.
Yeah.
Those 3.
Hey.
It fits my headcanon, so I really enjoy that, of course. But yeah, we saw it was the first real look into Dash.
Yeah.
I think it really gets into her, underlying personality, really. That she's not, constantly thinking she's the best. Because she wasn't. The majority of the time, she's sitting there going, crap, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, she was panicking.
Yeah, so...
Although I don't think Rarity had as big of an influence on the panicking as...
No.
She really didn't. Rarity didn't help with matters, but...
No, this is definitely an episode that made me sour on Rarity. That was for sure. She really screwed that up. Let's go help Rainbow Dash. Oh, and then...
Although Rainbow Dash messing up during her actual flight was, well, not Rarity's fault.
That part wasn't her fault. That was just her,
nerves.
She's freaking out. But yeah, Rarity didn't really help at all.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk, Dash.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was just a really... I think it's significant. Definitely a significant episode. Whether you like it or not, it had a lot of important stuff going on.
Yeah. What was I thinking of? Oh, of course, me liking to shift the focus to another pony.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, this episode we saw, Twilight did the wing spell, gave Rarity the morning dew butterfly wing things, which is also, of course, a toy because that's the toys. And she struggled to do that. And I remember she was struggling to do that, and it was hard. So she can do it again once she finished because it's just too difficult. But the cloud blocking spell is easy, which is interesting on itself.
Yeah.
But anyway, then of course in season 4, much later, what does she do? She turns all 6 of them into a completely different species that's capable of flight. It's like, wow.
It's like
that's pretty significant.
Around.
Yeah, that's a pretty significant
You have that one
growth.
episode where apparently it's super difficult to float animals around.
Yeah.
Which doesn't... It's like magic tends to change in how difficult it is.
Depending on who's writing. Which, funny enough, who wrote this episode? Emily Larson. Who wrote Magic Duel? Emily Larson.
Emily Larson really does have a thing about giving ponies wings.
Actually, I think he is... it's funny. He actually... It's funny. He wrote for Gravity Falls. He said he hated it. He hated Gravity. I think it's because he doesn't like having a rigid canon.
Oh.
Because if you think about it, Gravity Falls has a pretty rigid canon.
It does.
It's gonna be like, you can't do this, this, and this because it's at whatever reasons. And here it's pretty loose. It was pretty loose initially, and now it's starting to solidify. But it's pretty loose canon, and now he can't really play with it as much. I don't think. I'm wondering if he's going to start disliking writing for this show just because of that. I don't know. Maybe he just likes the characters better as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do know he just said he didn't like writing for Gravity Falls. He said he'll never do it again. Which is like, oh.
But he didn't give any specific reason. So it could be outside of...
I didn't hear the reason
itself.
He might have given
management problems. I don't know. Maybe he just didn't like the environment or the people he works with.
Maybe he doesn't like working for Disney. I don't know.
That could be it as well. But
I think it was just he didn't like having someone constantly telling him, no, you can't do that. It wouldn't surprise me.
Imagine Dipper with wings.
He's never going to get away with that from that.
No, he's not. Nope. Yeah, I think either way you look at it, whether you like it or not, you can't ignore the fact that this was very important to the show itself. It established a huge amount of things, especially in the fandom. Especially in the fandom. Whether you like it or not, it was...
Well, now I'm starting to hate it.
Well, it's still significant.
Not that significant. I would say Cutie Mark Chronicles is much more significant. Way more significant.
It was definitely significant. We might have to go revisit that sometime too.
Maybe.
Even though it's a Cutie Mark Crusaders episode.
Yeah,
it doesn't. Well, it's weird. That one's weird though.
But that's backstories.
Yeah.
This is also interesting because we saw the Rainbow Factory, which
spawned the whole series of things. Yes, things.
Fun stuff with that. And apparently, established rainbows are spicy.
Apparently, really spicy. If Pinky was the one freaking out. Because she can down hot sauce without no problem.
That's fine.
That one she's freaking out on.
It burns.
It burns.
Yeah, I did. I was thinking of something. I was like, I was like thinking about this, like, the bit in the beginning. That's what I was thinking of. The bit in the beginning where Pinky knows what the Young Flyer competition is. She knows what it is. I was thinking, why does she know it? And it occurred to me. She likes talking to other ponies. It stands to reason she'd talk to some pony and they would talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
So she would know exactly what it is just because she talks to so many people. It's not strange pinkiness. It's just she's very social.
Well,
so
one thing that's interesting, Twilight doesn't know what a sonic rainboom was.
Yeah, that's kind of an odd one. I think it was just she was playing the. I think in that case she was just playing the asking the question on behalf of the audience.
Yeah, it seems kind of. It's like she should know what that is, especially when we go back.
She would know what a sonic boom is, for sure. But
but she should know, considering the sonic rainboom that they talk about in Kingdom Hearts Chronicles.
Yeah, she saw the rainbow.
That's what kind of.
Well, I don't think she actually saw it.
She
just
may not have seen
wave.
it, but she would have gone, "What the heck was that?" And people would have gone, "Whoa, Sonic Rainbow, Sonic Rainbow!" Everyone would have been talking about that. She might not have actually
seen the rainbow. Remember, she was indoors.
But everyone would have been talking about it.
Maybe.
That would have made. That should have made. Yeah, which also brings to the fact: how does everyone not believe it happened? All the bullies are picking it out or saying it was saying that it never actually happened.
Especially since at least one of them was actually there.
Yeah, that's like.
I don't know. Probably didn't see it or didn't. I don't know.
Or is just trying to deny it just so they can bully her. Yeah, I've unfortunately seen that happen in real life. Disregard fact just to continue bullying.
I don't know.
There's little bit things like that. A little odd.
But a little odd. Wait a second. This was back when the show had a very loose canon.
Yep, this was... Yeah.
Where things could contradict and just the show chef would just be like, "Don't think about it too hard."
Yeah,
season 1 about it anyway.
It was just over halfway through season 1.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's actually more closer to 3/4 of the way. It was
episode 16. Yeah.
It's closer to 3/4 of the way through. So.
Yeah, they didn't quite have anything strict on canon at that point.
No, Lauren Faust had a lot of things in her head going on, but.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it was obvious the show played fast and loose as canon. So things would just kind of seemingly contradict each other. You just have to chalk it up to whatever. Just don't think about it too hard. Like the fact that, the production time on a snowfall, because if they're having to sit there intricately making all the snowflakes for snow.
Yeah, that's one of those, okay, so they must be working on snowflakes all 3 seasons.
There has to be just snowflake specialists constantly, which that's what seems to imply. There are specialists who just sit there working on snowflakes.
Yeah, I think that's a
also,
common...
wouldn't that room have to be cold, really cold, to keep the snowflakes from melting?
It would.
No bundling up though.
But they're Pegasus; they're used to the cold.
I mean, still, even then, comes a point where it's like...
I know, it's magic. That's what we'll
magic.
Use. It's magic. We ain't gotta explain it.
So
it's magic.
They're making these snowflakes in reverse incubators or something.
Sure. Sure. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Not other than some of the fandom memes it's spawned, and some of the little bit of backstory. I don't think there's anything else I can talk about. I think it was historically significant for the fandom more than the show.
Yeah, the show was in terms of show stuff. It actually wasn't that significant.
But it was significant to us in the fandom.
Hold on. Was this the first time we saw the Wonderbolts or the second time? Actually saw the Wonderbolts on the show, not just mentioned. I want to say this was actually the first time we saw them.
It might be the first time we actually saw them in person.
Because I don't remember them before this. I remember in Best Night Ever they were there, for sure.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always the question of what did Dash do in her day with the Wonderbolts?
We're not going there. I know where
you're
going.
Lots of fanfics there. I know that. Of various kinds.
Yes, and of various kinds that I'm going to avoid. Although, probably some that I wouldn't avoid as well.
Yeah, that was one of those things that inspired a lot of people to write about it.
Yeah, I think this is the first. I think this is the first actual appearance.
How about that?
The actual appearance of them. I mean, they're mentioned in the very first episode.
Yeah,
obviously.
The Wonderbolts.
So, and then we have the Shadow Bolts show up in the second one.
There's the Wonderbolts, though.
So yeah, but I think this is the very first appearance of the Wonderbolts.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they weren't even named yet. They were just they're designed.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have Soren and Spitfire and Fleetfoot named. They were just there.
Yeah.
So it established them, I guess.
There's a little bit of that. It established the characters of the Wonderbolts.
And I guess it was also our first real look at Cloudsdale.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's literally a city in the clouds.
It is, yeah, literally. And we saw the architecture types. I don't know, Greek or Roman or whatever.
Greco-Roman.
Yeah, Greco-Roman. There we go. I like that one.
Yeah, that's what I called it.
Yeah.
Last time we were talking about this.
Yeah, that's actually the official one, now I remember correctly.
Yes, Greco-Roman.
Greco-Roman style, which is really cool.
Which is very different from the rest of Equestria, which is much more medieval. Or pseudo-medieval. Fantasy.
Pseudo. Depends on where you go.
Yeah, because you see something like, it's clearly like, you got castles and stuff, but the designs are actually sometimes, I've noticed some of the designs are very, like, bulbous and stuff.
Which
you could almost
got
argue
Arabian,
like Russian or Arabian.
Russian or Arabian. The Eastern influence on it as well. It's an amalgamation of styles.
Does it look cool? Yes. Okay.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Yep.
I think.
Yep. And then you have like Ponyville, which is
Thatch Roof Cottages.
Yeah, Thatch Roof Cottages. And then you have Appaloosa, which is very Western.
Western Dodge City. That was intentional.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. So it was significant more in the fandom than it was in the show.
Yeah.
But I obviously enjoyed it.
We heard Fluttershy shouting.
Yes, she actually did start shouting there at the end. That's loss of control.
Yeah, remember that. It's loss of control. It's so many people think it's lots of.
It's not lots of control. That doesn't make any sense if you think about it.
Loss of control.
Yes.
What she did. A Sonic Rainboom.
Yep. Shouting and jumping and waving her legs. They have arms.
Yep.
Yeah. I definitely enjoyed it. I think it holds up very well. I think it ties in with my established headcanon. I think there's references. We see it again in season 4 with the test.
Yeah.
When she's taking the test, when she's, crap, she freaks out. It's more we see that nervousness come back. So I think I enjoy it for that. I think it holds up pretty well.
I still think it's just a mid-tier episode.
All right. I think as far as season 1 goes, there are better, but I personally would put higher just within season 1. But yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I think that's about all we can go over it. I think everyone really knows about this episode already.
Yeah.
So the next discussion thing we have a comic.
Yes.
And I'm going to let you take that one away.
Friends Forever, number 13. And this is the weird one we saw. We're like, what? It's Rarity and Babs of all ponies.
Of all ponies.
Rarity's going to Manhattan.
Yep.
And Sweetie Belle's supposed to go with her. And then Sweetie Belle actually gets a sweet beer infection, which means she has to stay because, well, her balance is all out of whack.
Oh, yes.
And so Rarity just goes without her. Oh, well. But she goes, and it turns out that, well, Babs was hoping to visit with one of her friends, and that didn't happen. So Rarity decides to help, Babs have a good time anyway. And at first it doesn't go well because Rarity just starts doing the stuff she likes to do, not even paying attention to what Babs might like to do. And things go from there, I guess. I like this art style. This is an artist who's same artist who's done, I was trying to remember which one it was. I think 21 and 22, was it? Yeah, 21 and 22, the ones with Trixie and the Jewel Thief and stuff. Same artist, and I like this art style. It's its own thing, but it still fits with the show's general aesthetic. There's some funny little jokes, particularly about just Rarity being Rarity.
Mm-hmm.
And whatnot. And Babs. It's weird how I don't really hear Babs' voice coming out of her.
You can't, because I don't want to maintain your sanity. You can't.
I don't want to, so I change it a little in my head.
Yep.
But it's just a fun comic. I was not sure what to expect because the combo was just so odd, but it works very well, and I was surprised. And there's this one long sequence that is actually funnier than it should be, with the when they're in a salon.
Yep.
So yeah, it's fun, I think, and especially after that streak of just disappointing comics, it's a nice little break. Issue 12 was actually pretty fun. The Friends Forever was actually pretty good too. So,
yep, I'm gonna agree with you. This was a good one. I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I did not expect it to be this because it's Rarity. I don't like Rarity, but I think this combo worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like how they portrayed Babs as well. So,
yes, there's something. It's like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
When you find out more about Babs, it's like, I hope they reference this in the show if they ever bring her back. Although I'm hearing they don't have any plans to bring Babs back.
Oh.
Which is like,
yeah.
Weird.
I do like some of the running jokes that they had within the comic.
Oh, yeah.
Babs is talking, just grabs her.
That.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was good. I also like just that first page of Sweetie Belle.
Sweetie Belle.
Sweetie Belle is always adorable.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so right in the first page. That was a good joke.
Yep. Right in the first page. The first page is with Sweetie Belle, just in general. It worked. And Rarity asking if Sweetie Belle's going to write, and then, is she contagious?
Is she contagious?
No. And then, okay, now I can shower you. Now I can be affectionate towards you. So, yeah. It's a fun
definitely
one.
Good one.
It's after that streak of less than good comics, I think this is a much needed boost.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with you.
So
on
go get
that
it.
One. Yes, go get it. Good one.
This is a good one.
Good one. Go read it multiple times if you want to. So yeah, I think that's as much discussion as we have.
Yeah.
So we got some fan content. I do not have any music. It was a slow week, so I'm sorry. I don't have any. So I'm just gonna go passing it right back to you again. What?
Bow your head in shame.
But yeah. Okay. But anyway, you can have it back because you do have fan content.
I have two fanfics I found. The first one is +1 by Sapidus3 or Sapidus. I'm not sure. Sapidus.
I don't know.
Looks Greek to me.
It's all Greek to me.
But yeah, Sapidus3, I guess.
Is it Greek or is it Greco-Roman?
Don't do this, man. Anyway, it's a Tylestia fic, which, yeah, it's just romance is not a thing I usually do very often, except in very special cases on this. But this is basically Twilight gets an invitation to a Hearts and Hooves Day Gala, from Cadence. Makes sense. And she gets one which is apparently for couples, and she's confused because as far as she knows, she's single. So she said, oh, Cadence has made a mistake. No big deal. And so she doesn't, there's no way to get back to her very quickly because normal mail doesn't work, and she doesn't know how to send it directly because Spike doesn't. And so, I'm going to visit Celestia pretty soon. I'll just ask her.
All right. Yeah.
So it makes sense. And then she finds out apparently, she has been dating Celestia apparently, and yeah. Things go from there. It's not too long. It's just a short one. A little over 3,000 words, but it plays with the concept, which I noticed is particularly prominent in Twidash and Twilestia fics, of basically Twilight being very oblivious or socially awkward and stuff. And I've noticed a lot of those fics in particular tend to really ramp it up just for the sake of comedy or whatever. And this one plays with that concept and basically messes with your expectations about how it works.
Yeah, without trying to give away anything.
Yeah, and I like it for that.
I thought it was an interesting read. I'm not huge into Twilestia. It was just an interesting read for me. It's like, okay, all right, I get it. But it's not something I'm gonna go back and read again or anything like that. It was okay for me.
I thought it was just funny just because it took that this concept and that's because I noticed that in particular. Twidash in particular is guilty of this. I've noticed, and also Twilight is particularly guilty of really playing up Dash a lot, and kind of Twilight's almost a secondary thought in a lot of these I've noticed. Anyway, that's totally another discussion entirely. It likes to play. It's playing with this concept. It's very common of Twilight's completely oblivious. She doesn't know anything about romance because she's a nerd.
Because she's a nerd.
Yeah, it plays with that concept and plays with your expectations. So I say check it out just because of that. Anyway, the other one is a totally different animal, and it's called There Is No Luna by, a human. No, that is his pen name,
yes,
a human.
It's a human. Ingenious pen name, by the way.
Yeah, this one has a dark tag, although I don't think it's really that dark.
I would only give it...
It's mildly dark.
Semi-dark, maybe. It points to something that's kind of a dark theme.
But anyway, as you can tell from the title... Well, there is no Luna.
I'll prefix this. It has nothing to do with spoons, by the way.
Yeah. Anyway, it basically Twilight's going into the Forbidden World Library because it's the first time she's really allowed in there, and she's finding out that all these history books make zero mention of Luna, like none. And Twilight thought these were like altered or something, so she goes to Celestia, and she finds out a lot more than she'd ever planned to.
Yeah,
it's just an interesting take on Luna. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. I've never heard this particular take on it, so I thought it was really interesting just for that, and I almost want more from this concept. So
yeah, I thought it was interesting. I had actually never read or heard of this concept before, and it is definitely interesting. I think it would deserve more writing on. I would like to see more writing on it. Yeah. So I think this one is better than the other one personally.
Yeah.
But
this was just one of those.
I'd suggest giving.
I just went, oh, that's a dangerous game you're playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please tell me more.
So yeah, I would like to see more play on this concept.
I want to see consequences of something going wrong.
That would definitely be an interesting one. That would earn its dark fic.
Oh yeah,
its dark tag.
Because it mentions dark matter, but not dark matter, but dark subject matter. But it's not really
nothing
big and nothing
dark happens,
too.
But it mentions dark. Yeah. So,
just read and let your imagination run wild.
Yep. I definitely suggest giving that one a read. So yeah, that's
my fan content.
Yep.
I don't believe there was any updates this week. Because, just things kind of slowed down when it came to previously mentioned stories. Let me double check that real quick. Something probably updated right in the last second or something. Just watch.
Something will update right after we're done. Everything always happens right after we record.
There are no updates.
No updates.
That was surprising.
Yeah, not until tomorrow.
That's very surprising. Just nothing. As of right now.
If that's all you have, then I believe that brings us to the end of our podcast. So, in closing, if you liked what you heard and you want to hear more, you can go to pony411.libsyn.com. You can find all of our episodes there for download, past, future, present, all that sort of fun stuff. You can also find us on iTunes. Search for Pony411, subscribe to us there, and it'll automatically download and all that sort of fun stuff. You can also find us on Stitcher.com. Search for us there, use the app, do whatever it needs to do, whatever, find us there. You can also find us on YouTube if you don't want to download or anything. youtube.com/pony411. Go there and listen in, subscribe to us there, leave us comments or whatnot on the individual videos. We also air on Ponyville FM every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, so tune in, listen to us. If you would like to get a hold of us, give us questions, comments, yell at us, whatever, we don't care, just send us something. You can email us at pony411podcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter. We're at Pony411. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Pony411. We post news whenever a show comes out and that sort of stuff, so you can find us there. If you would like to contact us personally on Twitter, you can. I am at Alca7raz_ with a 7 instead of a T, and he is at Nemesis Prime 1.
Yeah, I haven't been tweeting lately. I've been sick.
Yeah. So yes, follow us, give us news, information, whatever, say hi, we don't care, let us know. So yeah, that brings us to the end. Hope you liked what you heard, hope you tune in next week, and until then, please, pony responsibly.
Things are getting heavy, guys.